what did you think about Biden's response to this then? Because, you know, I thought it was largely good. I think Sam was talking about how he wished it was included in a broader critique of American imperialism and like making it not just about this conflict and our men and women dying overseas for nothing, but more just about this foreign policy set that we have engaged in for decades and decades. It's a part of a massive problem of American might and imperialism. And to me, I'm not going to expect that from Joe Biden. There's just no chance, because this is part of his ideology. He believes in the American empire. Wondering if you were satisfied by what he had to say, his explanation. I would say, pleasantly surprised that he didn't really back down from all the pressure that he saw.
I would just add that he apparently kept the UK on hold for 36 hours without taking that call, which I think is, and I agree. I think the criticism of Biden is in like the rhetoric, which I think is shameful, and it's as dishonorable as you would expect coming at the end of an occupation like the one in Afghanistan. You know, blame the Afghan soldiers. But
yeah.
That's right.
And so the rhetorical stuff is bad, but as far as like the continuing the pullout, I think that's salutary.
I honestly, this is the first thing that Joe Biden has done that makes me feel okay about my vote for him. Where he stands on the filibuster and all these other things, this bipartisanship, that still gives me nightmares, saying that I voted for this guy who's going to stand by and watch our voting rights go to hell because he doesn't want to confront the filibuster. But when I see him stand firmly in this, however he got here, I don't know what it is that got Joe Biden to the point where he is now saying, no, we're not going to be the global police. America, no, we're not going to do that. And he's saying we're going to stand down, and he's standing by it despite the backlash. I mean, lesser politicians would cave underneath the pressure of all the mainstream media pounding the drums of war. Joe Biden is old enough and honorary enough to say, no, I don't care. We're coming. We're pulling out. So I actually salute him for that, because a lesser president would cave under the pressure.
Obama would have caved under the pressure. Like
I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say.
Oh my goodness. I mean, but think about that, right? I mean, think about how he was terrified of this very situation playing out. And there's a part of Biden, I think, that has like resentment towards what he perceives as some of these kind of elitist types. He, despite being in Washington for a long time, still likes to think of himself, even if he doesn't act this way in practice, as, you know, middle class Joe, train riding Joe, Union Joe, even though, again, he could do a ton more in that area. But at least aesthetically, he doesn't necessarily find the arguments convincing of the, people who are on Harvard Law Review or the national security establishment. I think that kind of that played into this a bit.
I think, when you consider back when Joe Biden opposed the surge, he actually was very vocal, going on the record, opposing Obama's surge into Afghanistan. I think Joe Biden had his own sense of international relations that was separate from Obama, and now he's getting a chance to implement it. And whereas now, and I want to be sure, let's not forget that he dropped bombs on Syria within the first 3 months of his presidency, or 4 months of his presidency. So this is not to say that Joe Biden is a paragon of anti-militarism, or he's standing up against the military-industrial complex, but it is to say, if you take away the trillions of dollars that we were given to the defense contractors that are inside of Virginia, if you want to know where those trillions of dollars went, they didn't go over to Afghanistan. They stayed right here in the United States and went to defense contractors. And Joe Biden is most certainly going head to head with them in this particular war. But they might not be too mad at him, because we have plenty of other wars where they could spend their bombs.
And we should say also, at the very least, he is continuing a disastrous foreign policy in regards to Cuba. He has doubled down in that area, in Venezuela, I would imagine his fingerprints are going to be all over the government that comes out of what's happening in Haiti right now. So there are many, many continuations. So in terms of Cuba, Obama was an upgrade there. But this particular conflict and the humanitarian disaster that was Afghanistan, I think as people who are not invested in personality types on the left were invested in policy outcomes, it behooves us to be praising him a bit here.
To at least let's look at how he got here. Like, what pressures, because when you consider all the other conflicts that are going on, I am not going to sit here and say Joe Biden is an anti-war president. Joe Biden is merely an anti-Afghanistan war president. So let's study that. What led him there? What pressures led him to being willing to take it on the chin from the media, as well as the military industrial complex and the reputation of the United States? But he stood by it. If we study that and figure out what those pressures are, then we should replicate it for every other war that is currently going on.
Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really, thank you.